was basically to show, oops, upside down. Where is it? Anyway, basically this video is to show Dr. Cronin, Laura Maria Pichardo Cruz, the ACLU, the NAACP, who may not need to be shown this, and Homeland Security, how this corrupt sovereignty commission works. Now, I did what's called a bottom-up audit. Not that that was my intention. I went into a Green Meadows clinic where I faced discrimination and recorded the abuses that ultimately we now know they tampered with the medical evidence to hide that. Green Meadows is part of the MU Health Systems, which we have Burrell, which is a sister to Family Health Clinic, Burrell, which is a sister clinic to Family Health Center, which is a sister clinic to Green Meadows. And Central Missouri Stop Human Trafficking Coalition is part of the MU system. It's an MU affiliate. Now, this is important because Nanette Ward is the former human rights investigator for the Human Rights Commission, which ultimately answers to the governor. Human Rights Commission investigates discrimination in employment, public accommodations, and housing. So does the Missouri Commission on Human Rights. Now, it's under the governor's jurisdiction. It's a jurisdiction that's underneath the governor. We also have the Missouri Board of Professional Registration, which includes Healing Arts Enforcement, the Board of Nursing, the Committee for Social Workers, and what other athletic workers like coaches, which is important because of the Sasha Manu Curry incident that happened while Governor Nixon was governor. They have to keep accurate records under Chapter 334. We also have the Missouri Department of Social Services, where University of Missouri good old boy Jay Nixon appointed Dr. Joseph Parks as the Mo Health Net Director, which is the Missouri Medicaid Director, and they investigate Medicaid fraud and discrimination in the provision of health care services, not only for those on Medicaid or Medicare, but also those on federal grants, like the one I was on at Family Health Center. Dr. Parks is the MU affiliate Family Health Center's chief psychiatrist, which means he's part of the administration, where I recorded Beth Sweeney trying to hook up with me in the exam room. I thought it was just innocent flirting playing. I kept looking at the rock on her finger. She kept going on and on and on for hours and hours and hours, and I really thought that, we were going to have a serious personal friendship, but that's not what she wanted. She just wanted to hook up. And I recorded Megan Cates ultimately being very abusive, Chris Hartigan being abusive, pushing false psychiatric care when I was in there begging for a referral to a GYN because of all the bleeding. Finally, I got in to see Dr. Elizabeth Wilson. She's with Boone Hospital Center. She came in to see me at Family Health Center. She volunteers there once a month. She ultimately, every other day of the month, is at Women's Health Associates, which is Boone Hospital Center. That's BJC Health Systems. There's only the two health systems here in town. She connects Boone. That's why all these other doctors at MU Hospital, the main hospital, Women's and Children's Hospital, and Boone Hospital Center are ultimately not getting me proper care and treatment and surgery because I reported Dr. Wilson for the fraud and coercion that I recorded that she participated in with Beth Sweeney. Now, they're protected by the Medicaid director. I was on a federal grant. So when I call the Missouri Department of Social Services, I can't figure out why they don't want to investigate it. Well, the ultimate one who would be auditing it would be the Mo Health Net director, and he's over here having them falsify the medical records and sending patients unnecessarily to Burrell, make criminal allegations. Oh, she was in here seeking drugs, blah, 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 blah. No, Nanette Ward was with me when I saw Megan Cates, and Nanette Ward got recorded stating you're being awfully nice to her, Heather. And I said, well, they'll just falsify the medical records, fire me, and I won't get care anywhere in town. And I was absolutely right. Now, that was September 3rd of 2014. Still didn't know I had the tumor because Dr. Scott, I saw Dr. Wilson in October 2014. I had seen Dr. Scott at Boone in July of 2014, several months prior. He didn't tell me I had the tumor, but wrote down that he made an emergency referral to Women's Health Associates based on my symptoms. What's on the audio is nothing like that. He's telling me that the ultrasound that he did right here, here's the ultrasound. I just got this. He didn't show me or tell me about the tumor on that ultrasound. This goes with his complaint to the Missouri Board of Healing Arts. Dr. Gavari was at Green Meadows. I told him about her audio recorded abuses. Making, basically it was a kickbacks fraud, $200 every time you come in, but both of them, she didn't even do a medical evaluation exam or anything else. Well, I kept seeing all these doctors having to write all these complaints and couldn't figure out why I couldn't get anybody to do anything about it. Well, you write that up to Healing Arts Enforcement and Beth Sweeney to the Board of Nursing. It's under the governor. Governor appointed the Medicaid director. The Medicaid director is the one that had them do all that in the first place, that crap that I recorded at Family Health Center, to cover their butts at Green Meadows, which is all part of the system. So they did all this falsification of medical records to make me look like a criminal in there seeking drugs, to hide the fact that these two doctors over here in July of 2014 basically refused to do any type of care and send me to a GYN when I was in their office hemorrhaging. Same with Cates and Hardigan. Only reason why I got in to see Sweeney is because Nanette reached out to Sweeney. And then when I start writing up the discrimination to Human Rights Commission and to the Missouri Commission on Human Rights, they don't want no part of it. They won't accept the discrimination claims because she's, number one, involved in the scam, the kickbacks fraud scam and Medicaid fraud scam. So you got to have Medicaid to pay for the medicine to get the kickbacks and the specialty referrals that the other doctors get kickbacks for, and Burel, which is this huge program that's completely fraudulent. So the Missouri Commission on Human Rights didn't want to touch these administrators because it ultimately included the Mo Health Director that was especially appointed by Governor Nixon. Now he's a University of Missouri good old boy. Now we have also the Attorney General, who's a University of Missouri good old boy, who's actually supposed to be also investigating Medicaid fraud and police and prosecutor profiling. That's why I can't get my University of Missouri Dr. Adam Beckett, the ER doctor that got recorded sexually assaulting me, prosecuted. Because as soon as the prosecutors and the police arrest him and start filing charges, he's going to say, well, she blew the whistle on this governor and the Mo Health Director for the fraud here. They'll all go to jail. So that's why I can't get cancer treatment. Because, and why my rapist won't be arrested, and why these doctors, all of whom I wrote up, will not be dealt with accordingly by the Missouri Commission, by the Missouri Board of Healing Arts, or the Board of Nursing, because they work for the governor. The governor's part of the whole scam in the first place. Another important thing is I'm trying to go back to work next week. Harbor Freight Tools is handling a discrimination claim where they're suing Harbor Freight Tools to get my employee records corrected. Because based on what they said to the Missouri Commission on Human Rights, the Missouri Commission on Human Rights is suing them because they fraudulently wrote me up for cash handling errors that couldn't have possibly happened. And they waited 24 days to say anything about it, trying to say that I didn't have that I was gone the whole time. No, I wasn't. And Beth is supposed to be giving me proper medical evidence to support this claim that I had the tumor ruptured, and it was an issue, and I was flat on my back from a malignant tumor rupture.